Hello, my friends. Good morning. So, welcome back to these weekly vlogs. I've not been vlogging much through the summer. The summer's been a little overwhelming, and sad girl summer has been real. So, it's September 1st, so it is the first day of 30 and 30. So Izzy and I will be hosting some kickoff sprints. Ashley couldn't make it to those because she's traveling and doing family stuff because it's Labor Day weekend. So I'm not going to fault her for any of that. We'll be doing more sprints this round probably than most rounds between the three of us, because I think before they felt like they couldn't ask me to do them. And I'm like, yeah, do them. I don't care. Tell me when, and if I'm not working, I'll be there. Sprints are going to be happening in just about 2 hours. So I've been doing a little prep as I've been getting up and getting going for the day. So I've got my reads for today that I'd love to get done in my hands. So I've got 2 omnibuses of Skip Beat with me. This is getting the first omnibus done today is a main priority. I have a second one here in case I'm really loving where I'm at and I can continue going. If not, I'll just do the one omnibus today and then switch over to these, a couple of shorties that I'm behind on. And that's My Sign, or A Sign of Affection 8 and The Ice Guy and the Cool Girl 5. Both of these read relatively quick for me. So bare minimum, while I'm on sprints, I would love to get 5 done to kick things off strong. When it comes to the level up challenge situation, I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to read as much as I want to read. So I'm going kind of chill for me. Granted, I'm starting off strong, but another thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing reels for every 5 volumes that I read for Instagram. I might compile some of those and put them up as shorts on YouTube. I haven't decided yet. We'll see how they perform on Instagram. I feel like reels are performing better on Instagram right now, so I wanted to try them out during 30 and 30. If you don't like seeing them, tell me down below. Or if you do like seeing them, tell me down below. But yeah, I just woke up not too long ago, which is why my face is all crazy. I'm going to go downstairs. I'm going to get some breakfast. I'm going to do something different with this hair. It's not working for me. And then from there, I'm going to get all set up for sprints and sprint time. And it's going to be great. These are just like reading productivity sprints, so I will leave them linked down below or in the corner, whatever I feel like the day of, and we'll go from there. So that's kind of where I'm at. And with that, I will see you guys in the next clip where I talk about things that I've read. Okay, so reading sprints are now over. 3 hours later, it's like 1:30-ish now. We started sprints at 10 my time. And then, of course, we have our little chat afterwards. So let's talk about what I've read. So, Skip Beat volumes 13 through 15. Skip Beat is a big focus of my 30 and 30 this year, or this round. I really loved the trajectory of the series in this particular one because it really kind of established a lot of things that are going to have long-term effects within the series, and I'm really loving what it's doing. So very, very happy that I finally got around to this one. Will be reading the next omnibus tomorrow because I think I'm done with my manga reading today after 7 volumes. So these 3 were absolutely fantastic. I have zero regrets. I do have a short with a little snippet about it. I'm going to be doing those for every 5 I'm reading, so if you'll probably see those quite a bit. Anyways, loved this. Next up, I went to the land of Squee Kick My Feet and read Ice Guy and the Cool Girl Volume 5. This series is so sweet and so precious. I love it so very much. I have zero regrets when I read this. It is just the best. I think I might have skipped Volume 4, but I kind of don't care. I'll go back and read it later. But I still love them. Like, the context they're so short, it's hard to lose much context in these, but loved it. I did also read Volume 8 of A Sign of Affection. I do have Volume 9 as well, so I will probably read that this month also. This one, they take a huge step in their relationship, and I really liked that particular step. I think it was well done and well played. It was the natural progression of their relationship, and I was really, really happy with what was going on here. And then the other 2 volumes that I read were Volumes 3 and 4 of I Swear I Won't Bother You Again. Now, I read Volumes 1 and 2 a very long time ago, but it was really easy. They had a nice summary at the beginning of Volume 3, so I kind of was able to reestablish what was going on in the story so that I remembered all the important things before moving on to these. I really, this was just a great one to jump back into, and then you establish the new character we have here on the cover towards the end of Volume 3, and Volume 4 added a lot to the overall plot of the story and the direction that this story is most likely going. So I really loved Volume 4 a little bit more than Volume 3. But either way, really enjoyed both of these, and I'm really excited to have read another. We are current with Japan on the manga, so there's long periods of time between releases on that, so I'll probably save up 5 and 6 and read those together. So it'll be a while before I read the series again, but I am really enjoying it, and it's one that I'm okay to let sit on my shelf and let me catch up with. So with that, that's the first 7 volumes of 30 and 30. I'm going to go downstairs. I'm going to chill out. I'm going to get some food and just kind of hang, do a little reading on books maybe. But either way, I'm really happy with how these sprints went. They were great. We had a great turnout. There is a spreadsheet. I will have it linked below in this video if you aren't part of the Discord. The Discord is just my Discord, my channel Discord. We just hang and have fun and talk about a lot of things there, so you're welcome to check that out anytime. That's always linked below as well. So with that said, good start to this vlog, good start to 30 and 30. I might film some other clips throughout the day, but I don't know how much more reading I will actually do. My eyes are pretty tired, so I might just kind of chill out and hang. Book-wise, what am I reading right now? So right now, my current audiobook is Primal Mirror by Nalini Singh, which I'm absolutely loving and adoring. And then digitally, I am reading a book called Skull. This is from the spin-off series from the 7 Brides for 7 Alien Brothers series by Honey Phillips, and I'm really enjoying that. That's for Self-Pub September that Maeve is doing. I do have some physicals for Self-Pub, so I'll probably pick out one of those as well. I have some Tal Bowers. Maybe I'll do a Tal. Haven't done that in a minute. So anyways, once I've read some more, I will be back with my face. In the meantime, enjoy the B-roll. Hello. So it has been a couple of days, few days maybe? Yeah, a few days since I turned on the camera and did a formal update with you for 30 and 30. So let's go ahead and do that. So I believe the last time I talked to you, I'd done my second omnibus of Skip Beat. And I didn't read anything else really that day, I don't think. Let me double check my spreadsheet here. Yeah, I only read the one omnibus that day. So the next day, the 3rd, I read Twilight Out of Focus after work. This is volume 3 in the series. I believe there's 4 or 5 volumes in the series. I can't remember. But either way, this is a boys' love story. I really like how this particular volume developed both of our characters because they're kind of growing and maturing into their relationship a bit better in this one, rather than having the initial setup and getting together. And then the second volume was about a completely different couple. So this was really good to kind of get back to them, seeing how they're developing in their relationship and how they're both not trying to stifle the other person. They're trying to let them grow and expand and do what they need to do. And it was really beautifully done. The art in this series is absolutely stunning. Again, there is explicit content. These are sealed. So if explicit content is not your thing, this isn't going to be the series for you. There are plenty of really sweet boys' love stories out there that don't really have that factor, that you don't necessarily have to read this one. There are plenty that are cleaner and things, so you don't have to worry about that. After that, all I've been reading is One Piece. Yes, I'm in a One Piece obsession for the moment, but I've read volumes 76 through 86 now. So I've read 11 volumes in the last couple of days. So with that said, essentially, story arc-wise, for those of you who are familiar with One Piece, I finished Dressrosa, we went to Zou, and now I'm in Whole Cake. Now, the Whole Cake arc of One Piece is one of my favorites in the anime. Part of that is because I am a simp for the ultimate simp in the series, Sanji. And I adore Sanji with all my heart and soul. Sanji is one of my favorite characters. A lot of people hate on Sanji because he is such a simp and he seems to just sexualize women. But in this arc, you learn how Sanji ended up that way in a twofold way. Basically, the only people who had ever shown him kindness in his younger years were his mother and his older sister. So of course he's going to idolize women because they were the only people who were ever kind to him in his very young formative years. His time with the Zeph turned that into more of a sexual thing, but it all comes from a place of respect and love and adoration. And you really see that throughout the way this arc plays out. And so I could go on for hours about my love of Sanji and of this One Piece arc in particular, but I will not bother you with that for this particular update because I don't know how long this vlog is going to be. We're only on day 5. I'm going to cut it off. We're going to do this weekly. Or are we going to do it every 10? We might do it every 10. We'll see. But either way, I am now at like 20, like 22, I think, volumes read for 30 and 30. I wasn't intending to read this much, but it's one of those where I haven't really been able to wind down very well from work at night. And so I've just been reading One Piece digitally on my phone on the Shonen Jump app. And so that's just been really great. It helps me relax. It helps me wind down. And it's been wonderful. So yeah, I am still really enjoying it. One of those volumes was today. So I've read at least one volume every day of this challenge so far. So yeah, I am just really happy and really loving where I'm at with the series. I'm thinking what I might do is read through the end of Whole Cake and then make myself wait and read like 10 more physicals before I read any more One Piece. Because the big thing in this challenge I wanted to do is make sure 30 of my physical volumes were read. Anything else I read was gravy on top of that. So all this One Piece has been gravy at this point. Right now I am at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I am at 10 volumes physically read, which does not feel bad. I'm really okay with that. we're only 5 days in, so I'm really trending for a 60 and 30 physically if I continue along this route. Granted, I am counting each individual volume in my Skippy 3-in-1s, which I have the day off tomorrow. Originally, my day off was going to be today, but I got called in because one of my coworkers was sick. So I'm going to be going in tonight, and then tomorrow I'll have the day off. I will read at least an omnibus tomorrow. Honestly, I might have just a read and rot day tomorrow where I just kind of lay around and read, because after that I'll be doing 5 days straight at work, which isn't too bad. Originally it was going to be 6, so today was going to be a read and rot day. But yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at. I wanted to give you a solid update and let you kind of know how things are going to move forward from here. I've been doing little reels with little mini reviews. If you want to go check those out, they're on my Instagram. My Instagram's always linked down below. And yeah, so I'm just having a real good time with my reading right now. And that's all I really wanted for 30 and 30, is for it to be fun. And a light song decided to come and say hi. Come here, baby. You want to say hi? You want to say hi to the people? Hi, light song. All right. All right. So with that said, I'm going to do a little bit more reading before I head off to work. I don't have to leave for work for like another 45 minutes. So I can probably maybe get one more volume of One Piece in before. One Piece writing wise is a little bit denser, so they take me a tad longer. But I've got enough time. I should be able to get at least one more before I head out. Hello, welcome back. We are now on September 6th. So One Piece wise, I have read up through volume 90 now, which does complete the whole kick arc, and we are now about to enter Wano. I have told myself I have to read 30 physical volumes off my TBR for the challenge before I can start to read Wano. So there won't be any One Piece for a bit with this challenge, because I'm going to focus in on my physicals and working down that TBR, because it is currently enormous. And one of my goals for this challenge is I wanted to read 30 physical volumes off of my TBR. That is always a goal, because I always try to work down my manga TBR, and I've not been reading as much recently from my physical TBR, so I'm really trying to actively work on that. So for today, what I read was, I read the next omnibus I have of Skip Beat. And this was a delight. I'm really liking the direction of the series, because it isn't so much just focused on a romance like I was initially expecting. And I'm like, how is this series almost 50 volumes long if it's just focusing on a romance? This is focusing on her coming into who she wants to be, even though her motives, when she initially starts out wanting to be an idol and acting and things like that, weren't necessarily the purest or the most great. Like, they weren't great motives to start out, let's be real. But I feel like she's growing and maturing, and she's found out that this is something she really enjoys and that she's actually really good at. And so it's fun to see her grow and mature in her craft, as well as getting to know this person who she admires, and the fact that she's attracted to him, doesn't hurt anything, but clearly they're not acting on that, because neither of them are in that place. Plus, she just turned 17 in the series, so them acting on anything would be weird. I mean, he's not super a lot older than her. I think he's like 21, 22 at this point in the series. So I'm really excited to see how this continues to develop. I really have been enjoying each volume. So I read 3 of those today. Well, this one omnibus, so 3 volumes there. And then I picked up The Villainess and the Demon Knight Volume 3. This is one I just had handy downstairs while I was reading. That's how it is with these other 3 that I've got. And so I decided to go ahead and pick this one up finally. It was so good. I really loved it. I continue to really enjoy this series. He is morality chained, which means this is a man who would burn the world for the woman he loves. And I love that trope. It is catnip to me. It is also catnip to Izzy. So this is just a series we're both kind of thriving in at the moment. And I know a lot of other people haven't really enjoyed this one because of that nature of his. But it's really interesting to see how, yes, he has those dark impulses and whatnot, being the demon knight. But he really just wants to be sweet and kind and gentle with her. And he does everything he can to do that. And it's so sweet. And you see that very much more in this volume as opposed to the others. And I just continue to really enjoy it. I will read this for as long as it's coming out because I'm just thoroughly enjoying it. The next one I have here is I did go ahead and read volume 9 of A Sign of Affection. Again, it was downstairs, so it was an easy grab for me. And this one, we get to the point where the natural progression of their relationship is what's happening. So they're actually, like, they started looking for an apartment. Last time they were, like, talking to her parents. We finally get to see some of Itsuomi's family, which was fantastic. I really enjoyed that. And she now wants to learn German, which is where his family has been based for a long time, so that he can better understand so that she can better understand his little sister. And it's really sweet. I really like how they're progressing. I know a lot of people feel kind of meh about this series, but I'm really enjoying it. This is definitely much more of a slice of lifestyle romance where there's not going to be high stakes. It's not going to be overly dramatic. Really, there will be some drama because naturally drama happens in life, but it's not anything that they can't overcome. We do find out, you know, that Dad knows Itsuomi's secret, but I really want to know what that is really, really hard. And I'm guessing it has to do with what he's planning on doing after college. They haven't had that conversation, so I'm assuming it's related to that. And there are just some things that he said, like the way his character had worded things, that makes me think he's gonna do something that has him traveling or has him abroad for a long period of time. And so I'm really interested to see how that's going to continue to play out. It bothers me because in the previous volume, he dyed his hair back black to, like, be more respectable to her family. But, like, this volume and the next one, his hair's still that silver blonde. And I'm like, but that's not your hair anymore. Give me the dark hair on the cover. I believe we finally get it by 11. But, like, why are we hanging on to it longer? Does he go back to it? I don't know. And then the last one that I've read so far today is The Concierge at Hokyoko, I think is how you'd say that, department store. So essentially this is like a big chain department store, and this woman is hired on as a concierge. So someone who is basically like a customer service rep. In the US. That's kind of the easiest way to describe it. So she's kind of like a bookseller to me. That's kind of how my brain associated it. And this really is a great example of what it's like to work in retail. You know, how you're told different things at times where it's like, this is the priority, but you also have boundaries and learning where those are. That's kind of what the discussion is that's happening here while she's helping customers. And so it is kind of episodic in that way, where each chapter you're helping a different customer or a couple of different customers, but they're all kind of connected. And I really like that setup for this because this feels like my life as a bookseller, just mine strictly in a bookstore rather than a bigger department store where there are more departments. And so I really enjoy this for that fact. A lot of other people probably won't feel the same about this particular series. A lot of them are going to be probably fairly bored. Honestly, I could see a lot of people being bored with this one, or it's just not catching their attention. There's nothing super fantastic about the art style or anything. But for me, this is what life looks like a lot of days. And so I related to this on a much deeper level than most people will. I think if you've worked retail or work in something very customer service based, I think you'll enjoy this because you'll understand a lot deeper of what's going on. I mean, everybody can like understand what's going on a surface level, but once you've worked in that kind of a job where you are at a customer's beck and call, essentially, it hits different. So do know that going into this one, but I really enjoyed it. Again, this is one that's going to hit harder for me than it will for others. I'm really excited to continue this one. This is an award winner of some sort, it says here on the back. But this is really fun because the take on it is all of the customers are animals. So there are different animals, whether extinct or not, or close to extinction. And, you know, instead of them being VIPs, they're VIAs when they're an animal close to extinction and some things like that. And so, again, it's just how you treat people and how sometimes your boss will tell you to go overboard with a certain type of customer. You start doing that and they're like, no, you still need to pay attention to all of our customers, and the back and forth of that. So it's really interesting because, you know, in a lot of jobs you get pulled multiple directions. And so this is definitely an example of that, especially early on where she's still new, and it's working really well for me. So I'm very excited for the next one. With that said, I think I'm going to take a break from the manga. I'm actually going to listen to my current audiobook. Is I believe it's called Maybe This Time. It's the new Carabastone Audible exclusive audio. I eat these up. They are my catnip. I've got like hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes left on this one. So I think I'm going to work in my bullet journal, work on some doodles. That's something I'm also doing this month, is trying to do a doodle a day. I'm a little behind. So 30 doodles in 30 days. I think I have 2 to do today. I think I just missed yesterday. So I'm going to work on that for a bit, and then from there, I will see what other manga I feel like picking up. I've got a few out in my car I need to go and grab. But yeah, it's a good time. I'm very excited, and I should probably film a book-related video. I've been talking so much about manga on my channel recently. A lot of my book lovers aren't getting what they need from me, so I should probably do a book video before you guys see this vlog. Hopefully I've done that. I haven't really talked much about what I read over July and August, so maybe I'll do that. Anyhow, thanks so much. Again, if you've read The Concierge at Hokyoku Department Store, tell me your thoughts down below, because I want to see if I'm alone in how I interpreted this. I don't know if it's just my unique experience or not. So if you've read it, I'd love to hear your thoughts, so share them down below. But anyways, we'll talk in a bit. Alright, so I am here to close out this weekly vlog. So this 7 days, I read a lot more than I anticipated I would read. So I've mostly been talking about manga in this video, but I have also been reading quite a few books. That'll be for Self-Pub September. That's going to get its own video. So if you're unfamiliar with Self-Pub September, it is a indie self-pub inspired reading challenge where you just read a bunch of self-pub and indie pubbed books through the month of September. It's hosted by my friend Maeve over at Maeve Ever Books. She's linked down below, so you can go ahead and check out what's going on with that. I've really been enjoying my reads for that so far. I'll do a little wrap up of that here at the end of this one. It's going to be better incorporated in the future vlogs. I'm just getting back in the swing of vlogging. I took a good chunk of time off of weekly vlogging. So let's go ahead and wrap this up. So today, manga-wise, I read 5 more volumes this morning before I went to work. So I read the first 5 volumes of Body, or B-O-D-Y. This is a series in which our hero works as a host in a host club, and our heroine is, disgusted by the entire thing. But, because she's different and she stands out, she catches his attention. Things go from there. For a shoujo series, this is pretty standard. I'm really enjoying it because it has some over-the-top theatric kind of things and some extreme situations going on. So it's just bonkers and banana pants enough for me to keep my attention. I do plan on tracking down the other 5 volumes in this series. I think I'm going to wait till my trip to Texas in October. Because we'll hit up some half-price books and stuff out there. So I think I'll see if I can find it out there. If not, then I'll come back and try to hunt it down through thrift books or some other website that I trust the quality on. So that's kind of my plan. So that is a total of 37 volumes in 7 days, which is about 30 more volumes than I was anticipating reading, but here we are. So, with that said, I am going to move into talking about the books that I've read. If you're not interested in that, that's okay. Again, it'll just be more sprinkled through the rest of the vlog, so just know that going in. This first part was just warming me back up to things. So, let's go ahead and dive into the books that I've read in this month so far. Let me pull up the graphic so that I don't miss anything, and then I'll tell you what I'm currently reading. So, first things first, I read the 3 most recent releases in the How the Aliens Were One series. I'm really enjoying it. It is a bonkers Western-style alien romance. It's a spin-off series for the 7 Brides for 7 Brothers series. I'm going to have a whole video coming out about that because I read the entirety of that series in a couple of days, and I kind of did the same thing with this spin-off series. I'm waiting for the next book to come out, which is later this month, I believe. So there's a good chance I will be reading that later in the month. But these are just really fun, sweet Western romances with an alien hero with trauma from war that he's dealing with, and a woman with her own trauma, and they work through their trauma together. That's how these essentially work. And it's beautiful, and I love it. And yes, they're on a ranch. They're all on this giant farm together, and it's great. And I have a fantastic time. These aren't the best things I've ever read. They're like 3-4 stars. They are highly entertaining. I have a good time with them, but these are not things that I'm going to love forever and ever. So just know that. The next one here, I will have a dedicated video coming out soon about as well, and that is Necromancer by Terry Mancour. This is book 10 in the Spellmonger series. As you know, I've been doing reviews for most of the books in the series, and so I will continue to share my thoughts. This particular one was a big book to unpack, not just in length, but in actual plot. The plot moves a ton in this particular book, so I'm going to have quite a bit to say. So definitely check that one out if you're here for the Spellmonger videos. The next one I have here was not an indie pubbed one, but it was one that I was really excited about, so I decided to go ahead and read it anyway. And that is Primal Mirror by Nalini Singh. She is one of my favorite authors. This is part of the Psy Changeling Trinity series, which is the sequel series to the Psy Changeling series. In this particular one, we are dealing with a Psy who had essentially been experimented on by her parents and been forced to procreate. And the wolf alpha, or not wolf, the leopard alpha, who is her actual mate and wants to protect and take care of her and her unborn child. So it's fantastic. I loved everything about it. I always do with these particular ones. They just scratch a particular itch that nothing else quite does, and I just love them for that. The next one I have here, I am counting as indie pubbed. It is published through Amazon. It's the Audible original of The New Carabastone, which was Maybe This Time, which is a childhood friends to lovers style romance that's a little timey-wimey. And y'all know me, I love timey-wimey things. So Yes, this was an easy, yes, I'm going to try this, and it was an easy win. The nice thing about these is these aren't smutty ones. These aren't smutty romances. Everything up, all the romances so far have been smutty ones. But this one isn't. It's really sweet, really cute. I really loved it. And like, I think there's just a kiss by the end. I don't even think that there's anything sexual going on from my memory of it. But yeah, it was really sweet and really cute. If you like a good, sweet, clean romance, the Audible originals by Cara Bastone are all that way. I really, really love them. The next one here is one that was recommended lovingly by Steph over at Novelty Corner and Robin from Paperbacks and Planners, and that is Red Dirt Heart by N.R. Walker. This is one that Steph had picked out for me when I had my friends pick out a bunch of books for me to read this year. This was her pick. And I loved it a whole lot. This is a Western romance. It is a male-male romance, and it is based in Australia. And I really, really loved it. I have already picked up book 2 in the series. Like, I've already checked it out from Kindle Unlimited, and I will be reading it relatively soon. Maybe this month. We'll see how things go. The next one and last one I have to talk to you about. So I've read 8 novels in 7 days too, y'all. Like, it's been a reading time in my house for me. This next one was one that I just picked up on a whim. Last night I had a really bad insomnia night. For whatever reason, I just couldn't sleep. And I saw this one suggested to me, and I'm like, why not? What's it gonna hurt? So this one is called The Orc and the Innkeeper, and it is by Cora Crane. So this one is a childhood enemies, I will say, to fake engaged to lovers romance. Now, he did bully her in high school, but he did change his ways while in high school to an extent, but towards the end of high school. He has lamented this for years because he just liked her. And he wanted to get her attention and have everybody else just leave her alone. So being the brutish orc that he is, he did that the only way he knew how. But then one day he saw how much that actually like affected her. And so he did everything he could to truly protect her from that point. But he also was kind and gentle in his heart and gave her space and time and tried to not get in her way. And she sees him in a situation where he needs her help as a fake fiance. And so she offers to help because, you know, she has always found him attractive. And she got burned by him really hard in high school because of everything that was going on. And so she decides to try to give him another chance in this way. And the way things play out, there's a lot of racial and historical prejudices between all the races, but specifically from our hero's family, because they were personally persecuted by humans. And so his family has had very strong opinions of how humans are the scum of the earth, they're all awful, all this stuff. And the way that is worked through, none of them have easy solutions. And I like that was depicted, because it's very easy in this kind of a story to kind of brush over those elements. I don't think this one did, because it was so integral to their interactions that they couldn't avoid it. And that made it really, really intriguing to me. And it kept my attention, and I ended up giving this book 5 stars. I adored it. I'm definitely picking up the next book in the series, which does come out later this month. But it had a cozy feel to it. He essentially owns a brewery, and she owns an inn in town. And it just has all these cozy small town vibes. But this town is full of paranormal beings where humans are the minority. And it's just really, really, I just had a great time with it. It was a complete surprise. Now, on a spice content level, this is going to be more along the lines of like 3 to 4 peppers, I would say. And that's kind of how all the alien ones would be as well for me, is 3 to 4. So It's a fair amount of spice, and the spice that you get is detailed. That's kind of how I gauge that. Like, it's not banging as the plot, but it is plentiful. So if that is not your thing, these books won't be for you. But I do like to clarify that so that no one walks in expecting one thing and getting something else. But for those who love the cozy fantasies and the smutty romances, this is a perfect blend. If you like more one or more the other, you might be a little let down or disappointed by it. But I enjoy all of the elements of it. I had a fantastic time with it. So with that said, that's all I have for this video. I am sorry this last clip was so long. I know it's my longest clip in the video. If you are here just because you love me, definitely leave a bookstack emoji, because I've read I've read so much this week. This week I read 37 volumes of manga and 8 novels, which is a total of 45 things. Like, I didn't even like try that hard. Like, I just allocated time to read these things, and then I had a couple of nights where it took me longer to get to sleep. So I read a lot of One Piece late at night. And yeah, like that. And then I had the one insomnia night for the books. But yeah, that's kind of it. This will not be the same next week. I can tell you that right now. Let me know how you feel about weekly vlogs also down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.